is, when you take on the host, what are the factors that you have to look into, especially to put on a good start?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of obvious ones. It's the home crowd's going to be noisy and very one-sided, which is nothing new, and it's great. Also, they've played a lot of cricket in these conditions, so it's always tough playing against someone on their home grounds. But with that also comes pressure. There's a billion fans that are going to be watching closely, cheering them on. See where we go.
But you've been Ashes captain now. You've been Test captain for a while. You've been ODI captain for a while. But just being World Cup captain, there haven't been too many who've done that for Australia or any team for that matter. Has that sunk in, and what does that mean to you to be World Cup captain?
It's really cool. First of all, I think the most exciting thing about a World Cup is it is a campaign. It does feel like you're there with 14 other guys, and you're on a journey to try and make the next couple of months as special as it can. So I love that. There's no forward planning and you're trying to manage different formats. No, we're here for a World Cup and everyone's fully focused on that. So I've really enjoyed that, and the boys have been awesome so far. And this is my third World Cup, and first one as captain. They're all really special.
Sorry, if I can just sneak another one in there. Just World Cup memories for you growing up over there. Are there any that stand out for you?
Yeah, the 99, I didn't watch it live, but seeing those replays over and over again of, the run out against South Africa, them standing on the Lord's, change room balcony. 2003, I remember watching a little bit of. Andrew Simons, remember he had a great game and watched that one. And then 2011 was just as I kind of started playing for Australia, so I saw a little bit of that. But 2015 I still say is basically my career highlight. I didn't play in the final. I played a couple of games, but being part of that was just something special.
Yeah. Pat, how is Marcus Stoinis? Is he available for this game? And I suppose as an extension, do you have a team for us yet?
We'll announce a team tomorrow at the toss. Stoins, still touch and go. He's going to have a run out this afternoon, but probably up against it. He's got to jump through a few hoops. So, we'll see.
And just in terms of one-day cricket and where it's at heading into this tournament, what's your view of where ODI cricket is at as a format? Obviously, the World Cup is still huge, but do you think it has relevance outside this? I know Mark Nicholas, the MCC president, has said that it shouldn't be played outside world events.
Yeah, it's a tough one. There's so much cricket on that you've seen over the last few years. You've got to prioritise different things at different times. So there's been times where we've missed white ball cricket to focus on tests. There's times where we've missed one-day cricket to kind of focus on T20, and in a World Cup year like this, we've probably more tended to rest from the T20s to get ready for a one-day World Cup. So it's tough. There's more and more cricket going in the calendar, so there's going to have to be some give and take. It's hard to know.
How much of having played ODI series in March and last month help you in this World Cup? And also, do you think Australia have the edge when it comes to head-to-head in World Cups with 8 wins and 4 losses against it?
It's no doubt helpful playing a lot here, not only for Australia but IPL. I've probably played more white ball cricket in India than I have in Australia over the last 10 years. So it's conditions we know really well. And I think the positive thing is we've had, we've played some really good one-day cricket against India over here over the last few years. So we can draw back on that. And that can be front of mind. In terms of a World Cup record, we probably can't take too much credit for, the World Cup wins in 1980s and 90s and early 2000s. But, we're really happy with how we've played over here lately.
Pat, your team has a lot of all-rounders, and teams like you, England, New Zealand, and going into this tournament, there is a lot of talk about all-rounders being the deciding factor of this tournament. So how much of this all-rounder, having so many all-rounders, this flexibility helps for you?
It's a luxury. I think in one-day cricket, more than any of the other formats, you need all-rounders. You've got to try and find 50 overs. So we feel really blessed to have people like Cam Green, Mitch Marsh, Glenn Maxwell, Marcus Stoinis, in the side, they're like gold. It means you can bat deeper. So yeah, feeling in a really good place.
Hi, Pat. Those who have seen Australian team, playing from the last 30 years, those who have seen on television or otherwise on the ground, have seen a special character of Australians being very aggressive, very little brash, sledging here and there. But this generation of Australian team has mellowed down a bit. Does it? It seems like that. So if the answer is yes, is it for good or bad?
Yeah, I don't know if it's for good or bad. I'd say it's more a reflection of who we are as people. In any team you've got different characters. Most of our guys are pretty chilled out. So I'm always proud seeing the players out in the field be really similar to the players who they are, or the people who they are off the field. And yeah, I've been really proud over the last couple of years in all formats how you've seen a lot of that translate. But it is a World Cup. I think you're going to see some boys get fired up at different times. We're all passionate. We're all ridiculously competitive. So I never really mind if a couple of our boys are puffing the chests out and getting themselves into the contest. Yeah.
Hi, Pat. Mitch Marsh has been among the most prolific six-hitters in ODI cricket this year, almost on the same level of some of your opponents like Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma. Having followed his career closely from close quarters, what do you think sort of makes him such a powerful six-hitter?
First of all, just his size. He's huge. And he's always been, a power hitter. I think that's his most natural kind of trait as a batter. He's super powerful, can clear the ropes easily. He had an amazing World Cup in 2021. And, over the last couple of years, he's had a few injuries along the way, but when he has played, he's been top quality. So he's one of those guys that is intimidating to bowl to. Top of your mark, you look and it's a big human down the other end, and he can hit the ball a long way. So hopefully you see plenty of that this series.
We saw on the all-rounders, we saw Mitch Marsh bowling back games in the warm-up and then in Rajkot as well. How do you plan to manage those all-rounders? Is it a case that Marsh could be available to bowl in one game, Stoinis or Green the next, or do you plan them to be available to bowl in every game?
The plan at the moment's, for whoever's playing to be on the table to bowl. Obviously, if things shift, then we'll manage that. But the good thing is, I think each game will have between Maxwell, Marsh, Green, Stoinis. I think we'll have lots of bowling. So there might be some games where one or two of the all-rounders either don't bowl or bowl very little. Just the way the overs pan out. But Mitchie's really good. It's all on track. So he's that's kind of been the design to hold back from South Africa and start building up for the World Cup, and it's he's going really well.
Pat, following on up Kapil's question, that over the years we have been used to, whenever Australian team coming in the World Cup or big series, big headline we are getting, like something like you will saying that, Mitchell is a star, the Indian top order should be aware of that, or we will thrash the Indian spin, something like that. Was it because of the characters, the Warneys, the Pontings from the 99 to 2007 phase, those characters, that's why we see the slightly, just like any other team kind of Australians. Is it because of the characters now you have in the team from compared to the previous generation?
Yeah, I'd say so. Times change as well. That's, 20 years ago. So, the world changes a little bit. But I think, as I said, it's that probably doesn't come naturally to a lot of our guys. We want to go about our work quietly, and when you're out in the field, you'll see the boys be just as aggressive. Davey Warner and Mitch Marsh are aggressive when they go out there and play, but we don't have to show it in getting in the opposition's face and things like that. But
So no spicy quotes for us?
Spicy quotes. Mitchell Marsh is huge. There's your headline.
Hey Pat. Adam Zampa's obviously been managed pretty carefully because he's so important. How's he tracking? And also, training looked like he had a bit of a gash on his face. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he swam into the pool wall. Apparently, he said he was had his eyes closed and thought he was swimming in a straight line and swam into the step in the pool. So, looks impressive. He's all good. He's just a little bit sore. So we've had a pretty quiet week or two, but he's right to go.
Hi, Pat. We saw David Warner bat right-handed against Ashwin. So how do you see the prospect of the Australian batting again against Ashwin, Jadeja, and of course Kuldeep? How do you see the spin trio with your batters?
Yeah, they're a good bowling lineup, especially here in home conditions. So they're going to be challenged. The good thing is we've played them a lot, so our batters will have their own plans. And again, we've had success against them at a few times. They've bowled well against us a few times as well. But yeah, Davey, we'll see if he bats right-handed or left-handed. He's probably better left-handed, I reckon. But we'll see how we go.
Pat, talking about your spin bowling, obviously with Aga missing out, the onus is going to be on Zampa as well as Maxwell. And coming to Maxwell, do you think it would be convenient for him to bowl 8 to 10 over spells per match, especially in these conditions?
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's good that we got plenty of bowling, but yeah, we see Maxi as a frontline spin bowler. In the 2015 World Cup, he was the sole spinner in basically every single match, I think, other than one. So really happy with how he's going. I thought he bowled really well in that third ODI against India. So yeah, we've got 20 overs of spin out there if we need it.
When I was talking to Mike Hussey, I was saying, and a few others, they were saying that Glenn Maxwell will be the key for Australia. I mean, the 10 overs that he gets to bowl in the middle overs, the vital breakthroughs that he gets will be very crucial. And is he working on new variations? What do you feel?
He's always working on some things. So yeah, even if it's not variations, it's different fields, different ways you bowl it. And yeah, I think with age and experience as well, you just get a bit more clever, and you need that as a spin bowler. So he's got an amazing knack of, if he misses out with a bat, he contributes with the ball, and vice versa. He's always in the game. So yeah, no doubt expecting a big tournament from Maxi.
Hi, Pat. Good luck for tomorrow's game. Just want to know from you the importance of starting the tournament on a good note, especially against a team like India, who are also the host of the competition.
Yeah, it's every game is super important in World Cup. You can't take it easy in any of them. And what a better way to start than India? They're, in the home conditions, you'd imagine they're probably tournament favourites. So if we win tomorrow, that's awesome. If not, well, we know where we stand, and maybe we need to change a few things, but or double down on what we do well. But yeah, it's exciting. So it should be a cracker.
Captain, though most of the Indian wickets look flat on their surface, but ball stops a bit, do you think that is going to be one of the major challenges?
I hope so. As a bowler, it's funny over here. You get the full range of wickets. You get some that are, spin or stop, and 250 might be a good score, and then there's other wickets where you feel like you need more than 350 because it's just so true. So. I guess one of the things I do like about playing in India is over the course of 50 overs, it does feel like the wicket and the ball changes a bit. In Australia, it can be pretty flat the whole 50 overs. Here, it does go through different phases.
Pat, you spoke about the number of seam bowling all-rounders with Green, Marsh and Stoinis. How do you strike that balance between them and maybe like having enough specialist pacers too, because you can't fit all of them in.
Yeah, that's it. I guess the luxury about the all-rounders is they do make the side as top 7 batters. They are genuinely pick themselves from their batting, and their bowling is kind of a bonus. So we're lucky that we're going to have 7 or 8 bowlers to choose from, but no doubt you'll see more from the specialist overs, 40, 50 overs of specialists, and the all-rounders will chip in when they need to.
Captain, this ground is considered as the happy hunting ground for Australia from 1987 World Cup onwards. And also this ground, the first match in this ground was during that 87 World Cup between Australia and India. Do you think you keep that legacy in tomorrow's match?
Yeah, hopefully. It's a ground we've played quite often. It feels like whenever we tour India, there seems to be a game here, and a few of the guys have played for CSK as well, or a fair bit here for IPL. So it's a nice ground. We like playing here. Hopefully, keep that going.
Hi Pat, just wanted your assessment of what the pitch looks like. In March, 269 was turned out to be a winning score here, and it took spin progressively through the game. Do you reckon it's going to play somewhat similar and obviously different to some of the 350 games that you guys have been playing recently?
Yeah, I hope so. Hard to know really. We'll obviously have a look tomorrow as well. It's still a day out, but it does seem like that's a bit of the trend. Is as the game goes on, it does spin a little bit more. But yeah, it looks like a good wicket, hard bit of grass. But yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I'm terrible at reading wickets.
Last one,
But how do you see as a captain when you approach the middle phase of the 50 overs part, basically the 11 to 40? Do you see it's important for teams to actually go out and pick wickets, or do you think okay, let's go safe with a defensive bowling option? How do you see captains in general going to use this as a bowling captain, especially you being a bowler? So do you see the importance of taking wickets? Say okay, even if they got 8 runs per over, it's okay to take 4 wickets so that you get bowl them out. So do you see a lot of innings being bowled out early in this tournament? And do you see due when you practice? Let us know about that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there was a little bit 2 nights ago when we trained at night. So it's hard to know how big a factor that is. In T20 it's quite a big factor. In one-day cricket it's a bit longer, so maybe the ball gets a bit softer, or it's not as big a factor as T20, but it's hard to know. Yeah, in terms of that middle phase, I think that's the interesting part of ODI cricket, because there's a few ways you can go about it. As a captain, your questions you want to ask is, are you trying to get out overs from your 5th or 6th bowler, or do you try and kind of front end it and bowl your main guys trying to go after those wickets? But then if it doesn't work out, your last 10 overs might be a bit more exposed. Sometimes if the ball's not swinging or spinning, maybe you try and just build pressure and get wickets that way, hopefully. So it is an interesting phase. You got to try and think a little bit differently. So it's probably one part of the captaincy I do enjoy.